It's Monday, December 6th, 2021, and it's today's episode. We're going to talk about Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. Hell of a game between the Chargers and the Bengals. Then we got to talk about the new running back position, just Jonathan Taylor bringing sexy back from the Indianapolis Colts and all RB1s out there. And obviously, we got to talk about what happened in Pittsburgh between the Ravens and the two-point conversion play. This is episode 53 of Monday Morning Football with the Guru. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. We're going to talk about Chargers versus the Bengals. Man, the Guru, this was one of the emotional games. Y'all know how I feel. Y'all know Joe Burrow is my favorite quarterback. Y'all know he's my guy in the NFL right now. Out of all the quarterbacks, the Guru loves Joe Burrow. And Justin Herbert. Y'all know, I'm the fanboy of Justin Herbert. So this was like one of those games, it's like when two of your brothers playing against each other, you don't know who to root against. You can't root for no one, man, because it hurts. I was just like, man, I'm not rooting for Joe. I'm rooting for Justin. It's like I'm just rooting, all right? But really, my takeaway from this game, what really caught my eye was like the way the organization, the way the Los Angeles Chargers and the Cincinnati Bengals organization handle their franchise quarterback situation. Because just follow me here. Both of those guys obviously came from the same draft class a couple of seasons ago. I want to say the 19-20 draft class, right? Joe Burrow, obviously the first overall pick. And Justin Herbert, I believe, was the 5th or 6th overall pick. But one thing that struck me with the way the organization went, fast forward, we saw the Cincinnati Bengals obviously have one of the worst offensive line unit prior to getting Joe Burrow and when Joe Burrow's rookie year. The Los Angeles Chargers also had one of the worst offensive line unit in Justin Herbert's rookie seasons. So both of those organizations right now knew last year both of their flaws was the offensive line unit. But what struck me was what the organization did when it identified their situation in hand. The Los Angeles Chargers, soon as the offseason was over with, they identified, oh man, you know what, our offensive line is a problem. We got ourselves a franchise quarterback, you know what I'm saying? We got to keep him healthy and we got to protect our investment. That's what the Los Angeles Chargers were. They got to protect their investment. So they went into Green Bay. They got Corey Linsley, one of the best center in the game. Got him for the free agent market. You know what I'm saying? So they secured the interior offensive line to protect their investment. And then in the draft, they went and got one of the best offensive tackle in the draft in Rashad Slater from Northwestern. Boom. You know what they did? They're like, you know what? We're going to protect our investment in Justin Herbert. And then I looked at the Cincinnati Bengals. Same situation. You get that Joe Burrow. And they had a terrible offensive line. And Joe Burrow didn't even finish his rookie season because of the offensive line. Didn't even finish his rookie season because of the offensive line. But you know what, though? In the free agency and in the draft, you know what the Cincinnati Bengals did in the first round? They're like, nah, we're going to pass up on getting Penei Sewell. We're going to pass up on getting Christian Darrisaw. We're going to pass up on getting Rashad Slater. We're going to get Jamar Chase. Because that's a sexy pick. Y'all know it's like this new style of football. This new football, it's all about, it's an offensive league. Yeah, we know it's an offensive league. It's an offensive league. But one thing I can tell you this, it's a quarterback league. It's not a wide receiver league. The biggest asset in this league is the quarterback. That's perfect. And you know what you do? You protect the quarterback. It's simple, dog. Every valuable asset that's worth a damn in the world. You know what the next they do they have with this? You have an insurance. You know what the insurance is? The insurance is a protection policy. You don't get the assets and then you're going to get another asset. No, you protect the asset. And what the Cincinnati Bengals did, I didn't like what they did in the draft pick. I called it out. Check the content. I'm like, you know what, man? Y'all got to protect the quarterback, man. You got to protect the asset. You got to protect the bag. You name me a place that has over $1 million in it and it's not secured. It's not secured. You tell me a place that's very valuable and that is not secured, man. Because the number one thing when you have a valuable asset, you know what you do? You protect it. The Los Angeles Chargers had a valuable asset, was Justin Herbert. In the next year of the draft, you know what they did? They protected the asset. The Cincinnati Bengals had an asset in Joe Burrow. And you know what they did? They drafted a Jamar Chase. They got another asset. They try to get hood rich, man. That's what we call it. They try to get hood rich. You know, you want to get one car and then you get another car. Like, come on, bro. You can only drive one car at the same time, dog. You want to get houses. You want to get another house. No. You must protect your asset. And I'm looking at the Cincinnati Bengals and I'm looking at the Los Angeles Chargers. Those both teams, they're in the same situation. I look at them, they're the exact same team. They both got a franchise quarterback, got a young up-and-coming coaching. I mean, they got an absolutely good roster, both situations, but it comes down to the philosophy of how to protect your money and how to protect your asset. And right now, in the book of protecting your asset and your valuables, I believe the Los Angeles Chargers are a step ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals, man. I can't keep watching Joe Burrow just getting smacked, man. From his rookie season, I can't keep watching Joe Burrow just getting his ass smacked, man. This is negligence. I keep saying this. It's negligence on the Bengals organization. If the draft comes next year and the Bengals don't draft 3 straight offensive linemen, bro, I'm telling you, we got to call a flag on the Cincinnati Bengals organization, man. Like, we got to do that. I can't stand that. I can't stand negligence, man. If you all see a child and a parent and it's negligent, you know what you do? You call CPS. There's an organization for that. In the NFL, they need to have an organization for negligence. They need to have an organization for negligence because it's not fair. Because what's happening in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, man, I'm just seeing negligence, man. And Joe Burrow is my guy, and I got to call it out, man. I got to call it out. Man, I could keep going, but I got to stop. I got to stop, man. Y'all got to stop doing that. The Brown family, y'all got to do that. You can't get my man killed over there, man. Could we please draft some offensive linemen? Could we please draft? You gave up on Penel Sewell. You gave up on Rashad Slater. You ain't get Christian Darrisaw. So come on, man. Could we please get an offensive lineman? All right? Enough is enough with receivers. There's a dime a dozen every receiver. There's one. Last year, we had Justin Jefferson. He had 1,400 yards receiving and whatnot. And what happened? They didn't do nothing. The Vikings didn't do nothing. It's not a receiver league. It's a quarterback league, and it's called protecting your quarterback. That's the name of this league, man. Until you get that, Zach Taylor and the Bengals organization, you're going to continuously lose to Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers. Woo, man. Telling y'all, man, I'm feeling myself. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It was just like the Washington Post. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Man, yeah, man, it's one of them days. So what? You know what? We got to move on to my next guys, my next team. You know, this is the guru. It's a feel-good situation. It's a feel-good episode. I want to talk about the Colts taking on the Houston Texans. That's what I want to talk about. And most importantly, I want to talk about Jonathan Taylor bringing sexy back to the position nobody ever want to talk about anymore. I want to talk about JT28 bringing sexy back to the running back position, baby. You know what's the last rhetorics about the RB1 position? Don't pay those guys. We got history of don't pay those guys. Don't pick those guys in the top 10. Don't do that. Don't pick no RBs in the first round, man, because you're making a mistake. I got plenty of examples. Look at Todd Gurley. Remember Todd Gurley? Yeah, he's not even in the league no more. Todd Gurley, yes. RB. You can't draft an RB in the first round. Look at Christian McCaffrey. Yes, there's history of you can't draft an RB. No, but you know what? That boy Indianapolis is making it back in vogue. It's making it in vogue to be a workhorse running back, and I love it, man. I'm talking about Frank Wright, got my man carrying the ball 30 times for 158. Old school, traditional football, man, and I love every single minute of it, man. I love it. But you know what kind of hurt my eyes, though? I'm not going to lie to you. What it's like, it kind of messed with my eyes a little bit because you see this type of old school traditional football in an outside team. You don't see this in a dome team. So it's kind of messing with my head seeing the Indianapolis being a power team and they're a dome team. So it's kind of like, I still can't get over that. But it don't matter what I can't get over. But one thing I know, one thing's happening right now is JT the 28 is bringing sexy back to the RB1 position, man. That's one thing I do know for sure, man. My man is the best running back in the NFL right now. He's the best running back in the NFL right now. And I'm sorry, Derrick Henry. I'm sorry, whoever you want to talk about. But right now, I'm talking about the total all-purpose package. Catching the ball off the backfield, picking up blitzes. I'm talking about running and his vision, setting up his blockers, doing everything you need to be an elite running back in this league and bringing the sexy back to the position. Nobody do it better than Jonathan Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts, man. Talking about it. JT28 bringing sexy back to the RB1 position, baby. Man, I love me Jonathan Taylor since college, man. Y'all go check out my draft profile I did on him, what was it, 2 seasons ago, man. JT28 bringing sexy back. Talking about bringing sexy back. We're going to take a quick break. But when we come back from the break, you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about that Dan Campbell fighting Lions, baby. They are finally out of this schneid. We are going to talk about the Detroit Lions on Monday Morning Football with the Guru. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're back. I appreciate you guys. Supporting the Monday Morning Football as always. The #1 football content in all of football land. For my audio listeners, y'all know what to do, man. Leave a ratings because that help, enhances visibility and obviously our visual audience. You guys go ahead, leave a comment and press that like button, baby. Now, let me talk about what I like. Talking about like buttons. Let me talk about my Detroit Lions. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. Let's talk about my Detroit Lions. Yeah, man, I feel like this show is like, it's a conflict because it's like I got my cousins, my ex. Y'all remember my ex? I used to mess with my man Kirk Cousins for a little bit. That's my ex-quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's not my quarterback. No, he's my ex-quarterback. But, sometimes you got to look at what your ex is doing. And my Lions, you all know my Lions. I always had a thing for my Lions. Me and Lions messed around, man. We weren't together or anything like that, but we were dating. You know what I'm saying? We messed around, man. So it's like, I love my Lions. I love my Lions. And seeing Dan Campbell and company finally got out the schneid, and it was beautiful. Jared Goff did one of them Jared Goff situation, man. It's like the commercials with the jewelry store. My man Jared Goff went to Jared this week, baby. He went to Jared and somehow, some way came out with the best ring you could possibly come out with, man. The rings that's called a W. He got the W ring, man, and now the Detroit Lions is off the schneid. Thank goodness to Jared Goff, man. The thing I love about Jared Goff is like one of them cryptocurrencies, man. You know what I'm saying? He goes up, and then all of a sudden he goes down, and then he goes up again, and then he goes down, That's Jared Goff right there. That's the Jared Goff career right there. He's like one of them cryptocurrency coins. The coins you ain't never heard of, man. It's not like Bitcoins or anything. It's the altcoins. That's who Jared Goff is, man. You don't even know. He's the Shiba Inu or something, man. That's what he is, man. But this week, Jared Goff, for this past Sunday, December 5th, Jared Goff was a straight fine piece of work that's went up on the rector meter, man. You know what? Jared, the Detroit Lions went to Jared to get this W. I love it, baby. I love it. I don't even know what to talk about the Detroit segment. That was probably one of my worst segments I ever had. You know what I'm saying? Because I was talking about a bad team. How do you expect me to have a great segment when I was talking to a bad team, man? Jesus, man, that was hard work. But I had to talk about the Detroit Lions, though. You know why? Because they're out this schneid. That's news, man. And plus, I like the Lions. And plus, think about it. If the Lions was going to win any game this season, who the hell was he going to come against, dog? I just want to be real with y'all. If the Detroit Lions was going to win against anyone in this league, it was going to be against Kirk Cousins. Against anyone. I'd have bet my whole everything I have, man, my whole resources, my whole everything that if the Lions was going to win any game this season, it was going to be one game was going to be against Kirk Cousins because it's just right. It feels right. It just feels right, man, that the Detroit Lions will beat a Kirk Cousins to win the game in the last seconds. It just feels right. I think it's just the football gods because nobody's going to be mad. Is anybody going to be mad at the Lions beating Kirk Cousins? No. Nobody's going to be mad. So it's like, boom, the Lions, if you're going to beat any teams, you beat Kirk Cousins, baby. And that's how you get a W, by playing Kirk Cousins on Sunday or any day of the week, dog, for real. And I love my man Kirk Cousins, but he's my ex now, man. So now let's talk about probably the game of the night, the game of the week, the game of every game. We want to talk about the Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. You know, the AFC North battle, like, this is the best rivalry in all of football. Like, there is not even any other rivalry, even close to this. And I grew up in the era of rivalries. Not this generation. Nah, this is not no rivalry. Nah. This generation y'all got, this ain't no rivalry, man. This a bunch of nah. I'm talking about I grew up from the Washington football team. Back then, the Redskins versus the Cowboys, the Giants and the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? The NFC East rivalries. And then you went to the AFC North, Baltimore, Tennessee Titans at that time. That was the AFC South. Y'all don't know. It was the rivalry era. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, it is what it is. But you know what? The Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers is still the premier rivalry in all the sports, man. Like, I don't care. In all the sports, man. Because when it comes down to this, it always comes down to some knockdown drag out. It comes down to one play, one field goal, one extra effort. It just comes down to the nitty and gritty of what you call sports, man. And when it came down to this game, I know everybody's going to talk about the 2-point play. Why did John Harbaugh go for the 2-point play? And I love it. There's this scenario. I mean, there was this quote by a great man once said. This quote, he says, "We play to win the game." Man, great quote by a great wise man. He said, "We play to win the game." And what John Harbaugh did in the Baltimore Ravens in Pittsburgh, scored a touchdown. Beautiful drive by Lamar Jackson. Beautiful drive. He's like, we going for 2. Because you know why? Because we play to win the game. We don't play to tie. No. We don't play to tie. No. We don't play to go to overtime. That's not the point of playing this game. The point of playing this game is to what? Is to win the game. And I have no problem with that decision John Harbaugh did, man. I have no problem, even though it cost me my money, my parlay, but I still had no problems with John Harbaugh making that play, man, and especially the play call. I had no issues with that, man. You play to win the game. And John Harbaugh definitely called this game to win the game, and I have no issue with that. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with that effort. I have no issue with the intent. I have no absolutely issue. And I have no issue with the consequence. I have it at all, man. That was a great call by a ballsy Super Bowl winning coach. That's a ballsy call. That's what you do in a situation like that. And he put the ball in his quarterback hands. The Monday morning quarterbacks guy going to talk about, oh, man, Lamar should have ran the ball. Why did he throw the ball, this and that? No, that was a perfect play call. Everything was perfect. The only thing not perfect was the execution, but everything was perfect. Beautiful call by John Harbaugh, man. Because at the end of the day, in football, there's a thing in football, especially when you're in a road team. There's this unwritten rule in football. When you're on the road, You play to win the game. You don't play for a tie. You don't play for overtime. You play to win the game. And I have no issues. And I keep saying that. No issues. No issues, man, with Pittsburgh Steelers, with what John Harbaugh did. None at all. None at all, man. But, geez, I love that rivalry, man. I love the AFC North rivalry. I love whenever the Steelers play the Ravens. I love Mike Tomlin. I love everything about that division. I'm not going to lie to you, man. I'm not going to lie. This is like the AFC North Monday Morning Football episode, man. I talked about the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm talking about the Ravens Steelers, man. If the Browns didn't have a bye, I'll be talking about Baker Mayfield too, dog. Hey, you know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a quick break to pay them bills. When we come back, we're gonna finish this segment, man, because I think I gotta apologize to someone, man. We'll be back after this break. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the G to the U to the R to the U. And now we got to talk about the New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins. And I really want to talk about this because you know what, man? I think I've been harsh. I've been one of the harshest critics when it comes to my guy Tua. Yeah. The thing about me is, I will give you how I really feel about a situation. I'm going to give you my honest truth at that time. But I'm not a stubborn mofo. Like, I'm not stubborn. You know what I'm saying? When I get more data, when I see more information, because I believe everybody could improve. I believe everybody could change. Trust me, I've changed as an individual. I'm not who I used to be. So I believe in change. So yes, I don't believe you just get stuck in your ways. You know how people's like, you are who you are forever. No, I don't believe in that. I believe you can create whoever you want to be any second of the day, anytime. And you know what? And I'm going to, you know what? I think I'm switching my mind about Tua, man. Like, I think Tua is the one in Miami. I really honestly, I'm thinking about it. The more I think about it and the more I look at it, I'm like, you know what, man? He's not he don't fit my style. You know what I'm saying? He don't fit my style. Yeah, so what? He's not a traditional NFL quarterback. He don't look the part. He don't walk the part. He don't talk the part. Nothing looks like a traditional QB1. Nothing. But the guy knows how to win, man. And the more I look at him, and then I look at Mac Jones, and I see what's happening in New England, and even with a quarterback with low ceiling like that, and I'm like, you know what? If Miami Dolphins' real identity is who I think they want to be, is running the ball, you know what I'm saying, and play great defense and creating turnovers, that's kind of the same identity that's happening that's been happening in New England. That's happening in New England right now with Mac Jones. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, is Tua bad? Is Tua and Mac Jones? Is Mac Jones that much better? Is he better than Tua? I'm like, honestly, I don't think so. It's like I'm so hard on Tua, and I look at Mac Jones, and I'm giving Mac Jones props, and I'm like, honestly, they're the same damn players, bro. Like, they're the same damn players. I won't say Mac Jones is better than Tua. I would not say that. I wouldn't say Tua is better than Mac Jones. It's like a flip of the coin. What do you want, man? Do you like mustard? Do you like ketchup? It's the same damn condiments, man. So the more I look at Miami, and the more I look at Brian Flores, and the more I see what they're accomplishing as far as the culture, building an offensive line unit, or getting that defensive line strong. This is a defensive-led team. The only thing they need is a quarterback that's competent, a quarterback that's accurate. And I'm like, damn, that's the same thing Bill Belichick has in Mac Jones. And the crazy thing is, Tua is 2-0. He beat Mac Jones and Bill Belichick this season. I'm just like, I know it's not sexy. I know he's not Deshaun Watson. He's not Russell Wilson. But for Miami, for what Miami wants to do, for Brian Flores, for what the organization wants to do and wants to be, it's not quarterback centric. It's not quarterback focused. It's everybody doing their job. It's complementary football. And at the end of the day, I think Tua is the guy in Miami. If you think Mac Jones is the guy in New England, I also now believe Tua could be the guy in Miami because of how and the style of the complementary ways of football they play. It's not quarterback centric. You just need a guy that need to be smart, make good decisions, be accurate. What does that sound like? That was the profile for Tua coming in from the draft. Yeah, he's not Joe Burrow. He don't have no swagger like a Joe Burrow. Yeah, he's not Justin Herbert. He don't have the prototypical size and arm strength like a Justin Herbert. But one thing I do know Tua has, he has that toughness. You know what I'm saying? He has a certain intangible about him of he's going to do what the coaches want to do. Very coachable. And they just win him, man. I give it to the kid. He has that winner mentality. Like something like Matthew Stafford don't have. You know what I'm saying? He don't have that Matthew Stafford, just being a winner. So Miami, man, this might have been the best thing that happened to y'all. The whole Deshaun Watson situation getting leaked out or whatever, y'all, and then it worked out. Because I think y'all might have locked into something here, man. With Tua, last name I cannot pronounce. So with that said, Brian Flores, be very, very, very careful this offseason when you make decisions. I know y'all want to go big game hunting this offseason with all those sexy quarterbacks. But from what you guys are trying to do and the culture you're building, just like New England is building with Mac Jones, I see a symmetry right here, man. I see a symmetry. And with the Miami defense, and with the secondary, especially drafting the young guy, Javon Harlan, they are built defensively, man. It's not quarterback-centric. And I think Tua is the guy, and Tua is the one in Miami. Oh, man, like I said, I love Tua being in one. And y'all know what this is, man. Monday Morning Football is the number one podcast when it comes to this football game. I'm the G to the U to the R to the U, and I am out.